Hey folks, welcome to episode 15 of Omnifactory. Last time we set up the tungsten and tungstensteel, tungsten carbide. These have been running really nicely here. We're up to 660 on each one. And we also upgraded our pulsating polymer clay here. I did add an extra buffer for the clathrates as well. We're going to need those for today. But this is already up to 120k. At the end of last episode, I went ahead and rearranged our DML slightly, upgraded it and expanded it. I also added more dynamos. I added another 6 I think, and they are fully upgraded just to keep up with the power of these simulation chambers now. So I've added quite a few simulation chambers here. We're now at 11 Endermen, and all the shulker ones are in the front here as well. Then we have all the ones that were stored because I wasn't running before. They are now up and running, and we're making pristines for all of these. And then I also went ahead and added 5 thermal data models, which we'll need for today. And I'll show you that in a bit. And I added some more zombies. We're not going to need these in the long run, all these zombies. It's just to try and get the iron back to where it was. But yeah, I also put some storage monitors on the loot fabricators. This looks really cool, I think, for all the things we're producing. So we are currently positive on diamonds. We are producing diamonds faster than we're using them. But only just where it's quite slow in the production on diamonds. But I know I'm told we're going to need quite a lot of these in the end game. But as for everything else is really stable, at least for the moment. We're not dropping anything. These 5 on the right hand side here are all the thermal models that we're going to need for today. So we have saltpeter, obsidian dust, blitz rods, basalt's rods, blizz rods, and we'll also need blaze rods, which are over here. This comes from the blaze data model, and the rest come from thermal. So we're going to use those today. And let's see, I don't think I added anything else between episodes. I've just been waiting on this tungsten cooking up. I've done a little bit of AFKing, not too much. I was just busy with other things and I just left the game running. But as usual, this ore processing is still backed up. It's never going to get anywhere. Yeah, so let's go over the plan for today. If we take a look at our quest book, we are... I unlocked the late game quest tab here, but we're not going to really be touching this for a little bit. We're going to keep going down the mid game. And I would like to get Lumium today. Lumium is the IV cables, like Vibrant Alloy was for HV, and also N-Steel is for EV. We're not going to be jumping straight to IV yet, but I would like to get ore processing at IV. So we're going to need to start to get Lumium somehow, and this is a blast furnace recipe, so it's going to take a little while to build up. However, in order to get Lumium, we have to do primal mana, because it's Lumium and primal mana in the blast furnace. And to get primal mana, we have to get all of these dusts here. Pyrotheum, petrotheum, aerotheum, and cryotheum dusts. And all of those combine together along with a diamond dust to make mana dust. Then with the mana dust, we can fluid extract that into primal mana and smelt it with Lumium blend to make Lumium. And we can also get signalum this way. So we might end up with signalum today as well, I'm not sure, but I definitely want to get Lumium up and running, as this is a really long recipe. So the plan is to passive all of these materials just to have them on stock. I don't want to do this on demand. So let's just jump in and let's start doing this. I want to do this at HV as well. I'm going to place it probably on this side of the cable, and I'll leave some space for some more blast furnaces. So I think even we'll just start it here. So the first step is going to be to make all of these powders. So let's just start laying this out. We're going to need 4 macerators. So we'll put down our 4 macerators, and then I think we will need an interface to supply items, or all of the rods. And then we can run item conduits along here. We'll grab one of each of the rods, blitz, basalts, blaze. And then we'll fill the interface with those to supply. Plug it in, paste our settings. And then I'm going to filter each one for each of the rods. So now these make all of the powders. So we have blizz. Why aren't you getting yours? Let's put some extract speeds on here. That should help to speed it up. Yeah, now we're getting all of the powders. So we can output that to a drawer network. So we'll put a drawer, I think, above for each one. And then a controller on the end. And then insert blue on the controller. And we'll set each one. That'll be 4 different quests as well, I think. There we go. Oh, I like the animations in the drawer. That looks cool. Alright, so what's the next step here? It's to make all of the powders. So we have to combine the dusts with redstone and then another ingredient. So for cryothium it's snowballs, petroleum it's obsidian dust, sulfur, and saltpeter. All these extra materials come from the DML setup that I added. It was those 5 on the end, remember? So now we need to get all of these dusts into 4 separate crafters. So I guess we'll lay it out in the order they're here again, and then more item conduits along here. And we'll put another set of drawers for the outputs. Like so. And actually, before I forget, I'm going to put downgrades in all these drawers. So I'll have to take out a couple of stacks of dust. I don't want these filling with like 2000 dust, because there's no other use for these other than to, yeah, turn them into the powders. Alright, so now to make it a bit easier, I think I'll disconnect these 2 conduit networks. And then we'll insert into a controller slave here, just to keep the drawer network connected. And we'll have a separate interface for redstone and all of the subcomponents. So we'll take redstone, snowballs, saltpeter, and obsidian dust. And I guess that means we'll have to add the powders to this interface as well. And we'll just have AE supply it. So then we'll filter each of our crafters. So let's do this in order here. So cryothium first. And we can copy our conduit settings again. Okay, just setting up the last filter here. I accidentally forgot to put the filters in before the extract, so this is now filling up with junk. So the last one is redstone, blaze powder, and obsidian dust. And I'm using limited item filters here just so that this doesn't happen and it doesn't get blocked. Oops, this is supposed to be sulfur, not obsidian dust with the blaze. And I've filled the output buffers with cobble just because I don't want to buffer 9 stacks in here on all of these. You can see all the dusts are now crafted. So we'll then add these to our drawer. There's erothium, this will be 4 quests as well. Petrothium and pyrothium. Alright, nice. So what is the next step then? I guess one of the last steps is to craft them all with diamond dust into mana dust. So how are we going to get diamond dust in here? Are we just going to set up a macerator for diamonds on site? I think that's probably the easiest way to do it. Eventually we're going to end up with diamond via ore processing, I think. Right, once we process diamond ore, we're going to end up with crushed diamonds. It's going to get ore washed into purified. Yeah, we're going to end up with diamonds here, but we can always switch it around at a later stage. And also for the production of these snowballs, I have just been using DML at the moment. I haven't set up a dedicated loot fabricator for these, as I want to use the glacial precipitator. This is basically just free snowballs. It just takes some water. But in order to get this precipitator, we're going to need the machine frame, which takes 8 mana infused. So we do need to get a little bit of this going just now, which is why I've just batch crafted a couple. And that's probably the first thing I'll make, just to keep this renewable for snowballs. Alright, so since this interface is now full, we are going to have to get a separate one for supplying diamonds. Let's get that. Let's also, before I forget, hook up a storage bus to our drawer network. Set on high priority and hook that up. So next we'll have our macerator going into our crafter, and then we'll filter this for diamonds, hide it from the interface terminal. So now we're getting diamond dust, and we have to put the diamond dust and all of these dusts into this crafter. So for that I'll use another limited item filter on here, and we'll filter that for all of these dusts. Cryothium and petrothium, and also the diamond dust. And then we just have to set a recipe in the auto crafter for mana dust, and I'll fill the output buffer as well. And then we can add another drawer for storage, I think. And we might as well buffer the diamond dust as well, just to have it available for us. We can add this here, that should still be seen by the same network, and it allows us to keep our conduits separate as well. And then we can extract on blue and insert to the drawer itself, I think. Like so. That should start filling up and give us the quest. And yeah, let's also add a diamond dust drawer there, just with a downgrade on there. And it looks like we might need to put an extract speeds on there. Let's do that for this one here. Now it seems to be keeping up alright. So that's given us mana dust. And now with the mana dust we can make primal mana. Let's see, is there anything else we want to do with mana dust? I guess there is. We need to make mana infused metal, primal mana, fluxed electrum. So we need to basically split this 3 ways. Instead of splitting it 3 ways, I think for now we're just going to do 2, and we'll do the mana infused metal dust and also fluid extract for the primal mana liquid. So for that we're going to need titanium dust. And so we need another macerator, and then we'll put that into the mixer. And then next to that we'll have a fluid extractor and a drum. Yeah, and then we need to filter all of these. So we'll filter titanium in the macerator, and then that can auto extract. Actually no, that has to be limited item filter on the mixer. We'll add titanium and mana dust to this interface here, and we'll just share the same network. So now when we insert brown here, we should be getting mana dust, no more than a stack. And then we can also extract brown here. Self-feed disabled. This should give us titanium dust. If I actually extract. Yeah, there we go. Now we're making mana infused metal dust. And then we'll output this to a drawer, I think with a storage downgrade as well, since we don't need to buffer this, the only use is to blast furnace this. So we can add another drawer on this network. And wait, we're not too long here, are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We might end up being too long. But you know what, let's just start another drawer network. We'll put another controller down. I think the limit on the drawers is 12. Like 12 blocks from the controller. So we'll just add another one. And then we'll also add the dust to the fluid extractor. This will give us primal mana. And we can just auto output this to the drum, I think. And then we'll put a fluid storage bus on there. And we can use it in the blast furnaces. I don't know if I have one of those on me, I do. So one of those, partition, and high priority. Plug it in as well. Alright, so now we have to make Lumium blend. This is this takes a few ingredients. Most of these actually aren't too bad. The luminescence we're already making. We have that passively over here. Is luminescence. We're currently up to 1400. In order to get more of this, we need some more apatite, but that's pretty easy to get. So let's just keep expanding this way, I think, and we'll make Lumium here. And actually, now that I'm looking at this, there's no real reason to have this drawer separate from this one. Yeah, we might as well just connect it up, because that's going to be the last drawer in this one. I thought it was going to turn out to be a bit more, but I think we'll do Lumium and Signalum separately, and we'll keep this as one. So now this should still be a part of the same drawer network, right? Yeah, it's got mana infused there. That does connect. Alright, nice. So let's start making our Lumium. So for Lumium, we're going to need these clathrates, and Signalum also takes the clathrates, so let's actually set up the clathrates first. So the clathrates are going to take chemical reactors, so we can put 3 next to each other. These are going to take nether quartz, so actually let's... I don't know, we can put the interface above it actually. So each of the clathrates, one is going to be needed for each of the thermal ingots. The energized is going to be used for Lumium. Destabilized, which is the redstone version, is going to be used for Signalum, and the resonant is going to be used for Enderium. Actually, we already make the Enderium version, the resonant one here, from the polymer clay. We have that buffered separately. I'm not sure if that'll be sufficient, so I'm going to leave space just to add the chemical reactor, but I don't think we actually need it right now. So let's just make the other 2 here, and we'll leave space for that one if it turns out to be needed. And as for the liquids, we're already melting redstone here to get our red alloy. And that's got a fluid storage bus on there. We don't need to melt redstone. Glowstone, I think we're getting somewhere else as well. Let's see, where is glowstone? Ah yeah, glowstone is here. And that's used to make the nano CPU wafers. So I think we can just put a fluid storage bus on this as well. And hopefully that'll be sufficient. And we'll set it to extract only. If it turns out we need more production of molten glowstone, we can add an extra fluid extractor. But yeah, we'll use what we have just now, I suppose. So we'll need fluid conduits in these 2 chemical reactors. We'll leave a space for the next one, for the other one, and then we'll put a fluid interface here. And then we'll need redstone and glowstone. Add those to the interface and filter each one. So now these are filling up with their fluids. Maybe. Why is this not getting redstone? Is it just because this is too slow on the extract? Probably. Yeah, there we go. Now it's filling redstone. And we also need nether quartz as well. So we'll have another interface to supply nether quartz. Add some item conduits. And I guess I'll filter these just in case. Can't hurt to add filters. So now we're making energized clathrates and the resonant ones. I'll put some more extract speeds on there as well. There we go. So now we have both of the clathrates here. We'll add drawers for those. I love storage drawers. They're so good. I wish there was ones for fluids though. And is there any reason to backlog a huge amount of these? Probably not. I can probably just put storage downgrades on these. As they're going to be straight processed, we don't need to buffer a huge amount of these. Then we'll need a drawer controller. And we'll insert there. Insert blue. Add this to the drawer as well. Alright, so next step is Lumium. So for Lumium, we have to get sterling silver, tin alloy, and luminescence. So tin alloy, we'll need a mixer for tin and iron dust. Sterling silver, we'll need either a mixer or a crafter with copper and silver dust. And I think we already make these dusts here. We make... hold on. Yeah, we already have silver dust. We also have to have copper dust and tin dust available. We'll need 2 more macerators for that as well. There's the 2 more macerators already crafted. I moved the interface from back there just to here. It'll be easier to supply the dusts that way. Actually, it's just 1 macerator we need. It's just the tin because we already make the rest. I must have missed it the first time I came over here. We already have iron over in that setup over there for iron dust. We have silver, we have copper, and it's just tin that we need. So it's just, I think it's just the 1. So we need to add tin here, and then we'll item filter this for tin. And the first thing we'll make is tin alloy. We'll add a storage bus to this drawer network so that we can access it for the crafters. And we can do the same again and buffer a stack of tin dust, just in case we need it in the future. Make sure to put the downgrade on there. I ended up forgetting and filled up the drawer. That's alright, this is on high priority anyway, so the things in our drives will be used first. So we need to add iron dust to this as well, and then we will limited item filter this crafter for both of those dusts to make tin alloy. And we'll fill the output buffer and then set the recipe for this. Oh wait a second, this has to be made in a mixer. Why did I think it could be done in a crafter? Alright, well that's easy enough to fix. We'll just swap this out with a mixer. So mixer there, that should start filling with dusts. We'll need more power as well, so we need more cable. And we'll disconnect this side as well, just to keep things a bit cleaner. Actually no, we won't, we need that connection. Because this interface is supplying these chemical reactors. Oh, and I can't put it back. No, what have I done? There we go. Alright, so now we're making tin alloy dust. We can buffer a stack of this, same as before, for later on. The last thing we need for Lumium is sterling silver. We have the rest of the components now. So sterling silver is copper and silver. And this is the one we can do in a crafting table. So I'll add a mechanical crafter for that and filter this. And now this crafter's making a sterling silver. We'll add another buffer for that as well. So the last step is to make a crafter Lumium dust. So I've filtered all the inserts for this. I think we have to add luminescence to this as well. And that should be the last ingredient. It's just the 4 ingredients. Yeah, it is. This should make us Lumium once we set the recipe. Like so. And then is there any reason to keep a lot of this buffered? We're going to be blast furnace in it and also making fluxed electrum. I don't think we need that much fluxed electrum. So I think for now I'll just keep a stack. We can always increase the buffer later on. We'll add this to our drawer network. And we can add this to the drawer. Alright, so we now have Lumium. We now need to blast furnace this along with our primal mana. And this is a really, really high temperature and high duration recipe. So I'd quite like to get this going. Yeah, that is a wall of machines and a half. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look that messy. There's a lot of conduits, but what would you do without conduits? Let's get a bucket of this mana for the quest. There it is. I noticed in the quest book here we can also craft nether stars from this, which is interesting. I'm not sure how useful they are for us right now. I don't think I'll bother setting this up, but this is basically all of the dusts plus nether quartz to make each of the different tips. And then the centerpiece is all of the rods plus a block of luminescence. So it's nothing we don't have. We can easily set this up if we need it. So that's pretty cool. I think I'll leave that out for now. I'd like to get the blast furnaces up and running. And then we'll also have to set up our glacial precipitator to make the snowballs. Because right now we don't have a way of getting cryothium, or what is it? Yeah, cryothium dust, because we don't have snowball production. So for that we're going to need a little bit of Mana Infused Ingots. So the temperature on Lumium is 4500. Let's see if we can use our nichrome coils. No, we can't. These only go up to 3600. We have to go to the next tier, which is the Tungstensteel. Luckily we have quite a big buffer now of Tungstensteel. We're up to 770, which is not too bad. I think I started the episode on what, 640? Something like that. I don't know, I don't remember exactly. I don't think I mentioned at the start, but I upgraded these last night to EV tier as well. Just so that the whole process runs a bit faster. It's still blocked by this level emitter on this threshold for tungsten, just so that we don't burn through all of the tungsten. But yeah, these blast furnaces I'm thinking we set up on the EV line so that we can overclock these in the future once we have access to the CEFs and obviously some more power, just because this Lumium recipe takes so long. So I'm going to gather up some materials for a couple of blast furnaces, and we'll probably set them up here next to our multi-smelter for the next tier of materials. Quest complete. Alright, that's our shiny new blast furnace complete. I think these coil blocks look amazing. I don't know, these nichrome ones do look pretty cool though as well. But the deep purple on this is very nice. So yeah, this is our EV blast furnace. We're going to be doing this for Lumium. So we need a fluid interface for this. Need to craft one of those. I'll need a regular item interface. And we'll need Lumium in the item interface. Hide that from the terminal. That should import to this input bus. And then we'll extract on blue again. Back to the interface. And that should be running now. Very slowly. But it is running. And we're getting Lumium. So we'll add a machine controller. Just for consistency. And a level emitter on this as well. I've nearly finished the first one. I just need one ingot so I can set the filters on this. There we go. So it should be Lumium in our system now. That should be a quest, I think. Yep. There's Lumium. We'll add it to our storage monitor. And then we'll put a level emitter on this. It doesn't really matter how high we set this. We need tons and tons of Lumium. So basically just run forever. But yeah, it's just so we can set it if we need to limit it in the future. And we have our storage monitor. We can lock this. And yeah, we're now passively producing Lumium, which is awesome. And we're going to need this for IV machines, like I mentioned before. And I almost forgot, let's actually set up the second blast furnace for Mana Infused Ingots as well. I don't know why I thought that had to be done not in a blast furnace. And that's the second blast furnace setup. We're now making Mana Infused Ingots with our Mana Infused Metal Dust. And this is only a 20-second recipe as well, so we don't need to overclock this. I mean, probably we won't need to overclock this. So we will definitely have to put a level emitter on this because I don't want to use up all of the mana dust. So I think we'll just set it to 1000 for now. I don't think we'll need that much more than that. I could be wrong though, I haven't looked that extensively through the recipes. So yeah, that's our two blast furnaces set up. The third one is going to be Signalum. And with that set up, let's now set up our glacial precipitator to get our cryothium dust going. So for that we'll need a machine frame, which is just 8 Mana Infused Ingots, very easy. And then we combine this with some stainless steel plates. We can do that again. And then this is just some basic resources. We're going to need probably the copper gear recipe as well. I don't think I can make copper gears. Yeah. So gears go here. And these are just crafting recipes. 1, 2, and 3. And with access to these thermal items as well, we can also get the aqueous accumulator. So let's encode this recipe. This doesn't look too bad. I think we'll need the redstone servo and everything else we can do. Yeah, I think I can do iron gears. And I'll have to change out that glass. Or does it have to be blue? No, it can be any glass. That's fine. I guess we can put our precipitator over here next to the lava filling buckets and the water buckets. We can just do that and then import from the back. Have to set this to auto output as well. So you should be getting water and snowballs. We have to hook this up to power as well. So we can just extend the power along here. So now this is making snowballs. We can upgrade this as well, but I'm not sure how fast this needs to be. But this is basically free snowballs. It's only 16 RF a tick. And then we can just put a drawer on there with a storage bus. We can auto export the finished item as well, the snowball, into this drawer. And now these should all be going into producing Lumium as well, or the cryothium dust. So that's one thing taken care of. Let's just go double check just to make sure I added snowballs. Could be this one, which is filling up, nice. And why are you not empty? Alright, yeah, it was just missing the cryothium dust. No, that's what we want. That'll eventually back stuff. And now that we have aqueous accumulators, we can get rid of this ugly end of war down here. We can actually sneak a aqueous accumulator here, where this block is. Output to this side. And then put our cable back on top, because this chemical reactor is going to be powered by this cable here. So this should now keep getting water from that, which it is. And we can take this away. Much cleaner. I mean, there's still the conduit, but much cleaner. And in fact, we can even modify this to have an aqueous accumulator as well. And we can downsize this. Let me do that. There we go, much cleaner. The aqueous accumulator is just tucked in here, and that is pulling it into this pressurized tank. I can actually change this as well. And then the precipitator is just on the front here, producing the snowballs, ejecting up to the top. And with that, I think we'll finish off the episode here. I'm going to let this Lumium cook up some more, and we'll build up some more Lumium. And yeah, next time I think we'll tackle Signalum. Maybe I might set that up off camera actually. Signalum though is going to allow us to get these upgrade kits down here. And then with Signalum we can also upgrade our dynamos to produce more power. We'll probably have to add some more shulker models, but yeah, that'll allow us to get the upgrade kits for those. And then after that, I'd like to move into IV and build our ore processing if possible. So yeah, that's going to do it for today. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for some more Omnifactory.